The dissent channel is very important. It was instituted, if I remember correctly, during the Vietnam War, when we had many, many officers, this is before my time, who felt the war was wrong and wanted a way to express that. And so the dissent channel allows any officer in the State Department to write directly to the Secretary of State and to communicate a point of disagreement with American policy. It's confidential. It has to be confidential. We want to keep this out of public purview because we want discipline in the ranks of the State Department. The Secretary of State, in my experience when I worked for Secretary Condi Rice, she took this very seriously. She read nearly all or all of the dissent channel messages that came to her. She asked some of the people who worked for her to do the same. She asked for a response to that person so that person would feel that they were listened to. I think it's very important that we have that outlet, but it has to be private and it has to be confidential, because one thing about federal civil service, we argue inside the government behind closed doors about policy every day of the week. And sometimes as a young officer or mid-career officer or even a senior officer, sometimes you win that policy argument and sometimes you lose because the president or the Secretary of State or the ambassador makes the ultimate decision. Our obligation once the argument ends and the decision is made is that we have to implement that decision. So there were times in my career when I implemented decisions that I'd argued against, but I knew that's the nature of federal service, that the president and Secretary of State deserve a group of people who will implement their will and implement the decisions that they make. You cannot have an effective institution if you don't have that kind of discipline.